Yeah,
I'm going to
okay.
put you to work.
Well, I don't know that I have ever done that, so this is a bucket list thing for me.
Oh, good. Believe me, this is easier than going in a stunt plane, I'll tell you that. You have a much easier morning ahead of you.
Well, that sounded pretty exciting. I was listening to the show on the way in today, and it sounded pretty fun, man.
It was really cool. I don't know if I would have done it if they, not that they forced me, but it was kind of like, here's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, no, you got to take it.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to take
good.
it.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. I'm kind of surprised I did it, to be honest. But I'm really excited that I didn't throw up. That was my biggest fear. It's like, I don't even know this guy, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to puke on the back of his head. Like, oh no. But it was good. I held it together the whole time. So I promise this will be, you shouldn't puke at all while you're here, unless I spin your chair around. But other than that, we'll be good. So how's things in your world?
Everything's good for me. I'm back at work. We're filming Heartland for our 10th season, if we can believe that. I have to reach under the table and touch a little
I
wood.
hope this is wood. I don't know.
Oh, no, I think it is.
Okay.
It's been a real blessing for a lot of us, well, for anybody that's really associated with the show. And I'm having a ton of fun this year. And, I get asked the question, after this length of time, do you sort of run out of gas, or do you become less interested in the project? And for me, no. I'm as hot to go on it this year as I've ever been, and one of my objectives this year was to not only try to do my best work, but to laugh a lot, smile a lot, and just sort of catch up with the good things in life.
Yeah, I think that's a good philosophy. Have you ever done anything else in your acting career that has been like a 10-year stretch like this?
Oh man, this is the holy grail.
Yeah.
When it comes to my industry.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough to be a part of it. I've had a lot of great projects over the span of my resume.
Yes.
But nothing like this. It's the best job I've ever had. It's the best job I'm ever going to have.
Yeah.
And my wife loves it.
You say that with a fun grin. Does she really?
Well, yeah, she likes the consistency of it. I'm not flying all over the country and trying to make ends meet. I'm settled into a pretty consistent idea. We're all in one place all the time, and it's a consistent way of earning, and it's not always been like that, believe me.
She stuck through a lot of years of that not being like that.
Yeah, you know what? If it wasn't for my wife, Sue, I wouldn't be here today in lots of ways. She has been my greatest supporter, and in a career, in an industry that is hit and miss at best, you need somebody that loves you pretty hard at home.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think as fans we probably think of that side of the coin very often, because you think, oh, it's so glamorous. You're an actor and you do all of these things, but you forget how much, like, what an unknown is like.
Yeah. That good stuff, we'll call it the good stuff, that gets swept under the rug in the minds of viewers and fans, and just like you say, they don't realize that it's a lot grittier than stepping out of a limousine onto a red carpet.
Yeah, those moments are few and far between, really, at the end of the day.
For sure.
That's your Facebook life.
Yeah, that's the Facebook life, yeah.
That's my favorite. I'm just like that Brad Paisley song where you're so much cooler online. I like to live in that world. It's a good one. So pretty cool. Now, we're never allowed to know any of the secrets of it, but if I give you more coffee, do you think we'll learn something about season 10?
Well, if you put something in the coffee.
All of a sudden you're real loose. The Heartland publicist will be calling and pulling you.
Yeah.
We don't need to upset anybody.
No, we can't upset him. No, we can't let any cats out of any bags.
That's got to be a hard part of it, though. Because
you
know so much in advance of when we get to see it.
Yeah, for sure. My approach to that is I try to think of working on the show as the character as opposed to the actor.
Yeah.
Now, the actor gets to read the scripts. The actor understands what's happening from week to week. Obviously, characters don't. So
no, you're living in your moment, right?
Yeah, and I pay less attention to what's coming down the road than the writers do. Or
Yeah.
I just want it to be fresh. And
I just make up stuff. Just tell people something totally random.
I'm going to try that. You know,
Yeah.
well, actually, I've been trying to do
And
that
then-
for a long time, but the writers don't let,
Yeah.
don't let you make up stuff.
Then all of a sudden you guessed something that is going to happen, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah, they're going, what was
It's
that?
probably better to say nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
We
I
wanted
can't
to go
tell
to
you-
year 11, so we won't get you fired today.
Oh, I will. Yeah, okay. Well, I can tell you
What?
that Amy's pregnant.
You can tell us that?
I can tell you that.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we learned
Oh my
that last year,
goodness.
didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
But if people haven't caught up on that season, spoiler alert.
Yeah, right on.
If you're just catching up on Netflix, sorry about that. We're going to tell you more things from last year coming up. Country, there's Dallas Smith. If it gets you where you want to go, 726. I'm Jody Seeley. Shaun Johnston joins me on the show. He is Grandpa Jack from Heartland. I always have to say Grandpa.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Well, because it's a small town way.
I guess so. It just seems more fun.
I think in the big city they go, grandfather.
Grandpapa. Will you pass me the Great Poupon? Could you imagine?
No.
I couldn't at all.
Yeah, I know that exists, but I've never had anything but good old yellow mustard.
Yeah, I know. I don't even like Dijon. I'm like, what are all these little bumps in here?
Well, if I can't say it, I'm not putting it in my body.
Yeah, because that's probably a good idea at the end of the day. So you stick pretty to a regular diet then?
Yeah.
Meat,
Easy words, meat,
potato,
chips.
chips. That's a food group. What's another version of potato?
Yeah,
I guess,
exactly,
really,
sure.
at the end of meat, chips. But you probably get exposed to like all sorts of crazy culinary things doing what you do when you go to different events and
Yeah.
when you guys go to host different things. Like,
Yeah, we get
well,
get
even probably on
opportunities.
set, you probably get all sorts of crazy
You
stuff.
know, the people that cater our set are the best chefs that I've ever worked with on a film set, for sure.
I just want to come out to eat. I don't even need to watch you.
Oh,
film.
they're amazing. It's a great spread, and it's you know, they always have a vegetarian dish, and they've always got a couple of different entrees for everybody. I mean, it's hard to please everybody all the time.
Yeah.
They do a pretty
That's
good job.
why you
of it.
want to keep the show going, is you just got such good food.
Yeah, for sure.
Acting, schmacting. Yeah.
Well, it's hard not to gain weight.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I've
bet.
got my muffin top going, and I've got to make sure that I stay away from the cookie table.
Well, and we were talking about that actually last time I was chatting with you. And
Yeah.
you said that you had gained a little over.
Yeah.
Grandpa was feeling a little more fluffy.
But I can get into the Jack's jeans now.
Yeah, that's what you said. You're like, I'm still good. I got this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's
Yeah.
well, and another thing too that people just don't think about when you're just watching a show. You just think you guys just roll in and make magic happen.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of work in what you guys do at the end of the day.
Well, it's when I'm working on a project, I'm in the game from the time the project starts until the time the project wraps. If it's a movie, for example, that's a shorter schedule than an 18-hour series schedule. But so much to my wife's chagrin or dismay, I'm in the game all the time, and when I've got a couple of free days off, they're not necessarily that free because I'm poring over work that's coming up in like a future episode, or making sure that I'm taking advantage of my free time to be as good as I can on the day.
Yeah. Well, but if you compare it to, say, an athlete or something like that, on their
Yeah.
off days, they're going to still be training and different
Yeah.
things. So you kind of
Yeah.
you have to stay in that mode.
Yeah, for sure. During the winter months, for me, I don't necessarily go out looking for other work so much because doing what we do for as long as we do in a calendar year, it's pretty exhausting, and it takes me a couple of months to really regenerate, recharge, and go through my obligatory virus cold phase. You know,
It just happens no matter what.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen when I'm working, oddly enough, because
Another tap wood thing. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But my body and mind, I guess, just seem to work together, and they both know that I can't afford to be ill. I can't afford to be obviously missing a day's work. I haven't missed a day's work on a film set in 30 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that thing, right? Like when you relax, like when people go on holidays, it's usually when you get sick because you've been going, and then you relax and your body's like, okay.
Yeah.
Bink.
Yeah.
Here comes your cold and flu and whatever. It's weird the way that works.
Well, modern medicine helps once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like to take it too much.
All right, we're hanging out with Shaun Johnston this morning.
High River Online Traffic
Is CBC Heartland star Shaun Johnston, who plays Grandpa Jack, and it's exciting to have you here. I've had Amber co-host the show a few times, and I don't know if you've paid attention
I bet she's
in the
a good
past.
co-host.
Well, she actually takes over now. She's, you know her and her ability to just do everything great. But yeah, now when she comes in, she sits here, no word of a lie.
Is she pushing all the buttons?
Oh yeah, she's pushing it all, and I sit over on that side now and
perfect.
just remind her to turn her mic off and things like that. But she basically comes in.
That's
so
awesome.
just so you know, that's what you gotta progress towards.
Okay.
So when you come back next time,
I'll pay a little closer attention to what you're doing.
We let you have one show where you just get to sit and relax and visit, and then the next show. But it was just so funny because she's like, I think I could just do this. I'm like, oh, okay.
There's not much that Amber touches that doesn't turn to gold, I think.
Or that she just takes over and tries. Like, I love her ambition.
Yeah,
for
she's
that.
got a lot of courage. She came out to Alberta.
I call it pushy, but yeah, courage also works. No, I'm just
Well, if you talk to her dad, it'll be...
Just kidding, Amber fans. Please don't send me hate mail.
Yeah, no hate mail.
No, it's all good. So I just thought I'd let you know that's the bar that she set for you.
Okay, well,
this
I'm good.
particular
I'm old.
show. Yeah.
I don't...
Well, you did though get the Facebook and the Twitter and the stuff. Yeah, and even Instagram. You're on Instagram too, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the platform that I seem to have my hands on the most.
I love Instagram. It's the best one.
Yeah.
I totally think.
Well,
so.
it's kind of fun. It's not as limited in terms of how fast you have to be and how current and in the moment you have to be. I find that Twitter, for example, is if you're not on your idea or take the time to post your idea that comes into your head or that you see or the newsworthy item within minutes, it's almost that moment is gone.
It's kind of intense. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have that. I'm not able mostly to take that time. Take those 3 minutes. Well, for me, because
you got to get your glasses and then.
It takes me 7 minutes. It takes me a minimum of 7 minutes to make a Twitter post, and I don't have 7 minutes a lot of the time.
That's a lot. Well, because you got to think of how can I make this word shorter? And
exactly. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
And you know what? I find that anything that we do in social media. Because you don't have your voice, you don't have your face, you don't have yourself in lots of ways to project what you're saying. You have to be real specific with how you punctuate and what kind of words you use. And I find that Instagram gives me, and Facebook too. I mean, that's my evening thing. But during the day, I'll post once in a while on Instagram, and I like to take pretty pictures sometimes. And
I feel very arty and like almost like I'm a professional photographer.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky. I do. Sometimes I get lucky and I go, ooh, I got to post that.
And I just like how Instagram just seems all about the love. You know, like it's a more positive platform and we kind of just all get to share and anybody can take a moment to do anything meanly, but for the most part, I find us Instagrammers, we love. We're not out to hate on people like the other platforms.
No hate.
No hating on the Instagram. You get off. No Instagram for you.
Yeah.
So this summer you'll be packed. You guys film basically all the way to November, don't you?
December.
December.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a lot of winter scenes.
There's
a few of them.
Our last couple episodes, historically, can get pretty nippy, and we've had a ton of snow in a few episodes, but I think we had 1 or 2 seasons where they were praying for snow and couldn't get it.
Like, come on, we don't want to bring out the snow machine.
Yeah.
Now, coming up in the end of August, you're going to be doing this cool appearance that I heard about. It's down in Ottawa, but it's basically like a riding coaching clinic. Is that like something that is normal to you? Is it a little bit out of the wheelhouse, out of the comfort zone, or?
Well, yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to attend many of these events. Let's call it an event.
Yeah.
What's happening down in the Ottawa area is it's at a place called Liberty Lane, and there's this.
It sounds pretty.
Yeah, and I think it is real pretty.
Liberty Lane.
Yeah. There's this world-renowned horse whisperer gal.
Yeah.
Her name's Barb Schulte, and she's running clinics there, and it's a pretty big event. It happens over a few days, and they get some entertainment and things in there for all the people that sign up and come to the clinics and learn how to work with their horses. And there's colts starting and training, and in the evenings there are opportunities for entertainment. So what I'm going to do down there is I'll meet some fans, I guess, and if anybody wants to come to there,
yeah,
and I'll sign a few autographs probably, and maybe take a few pictures, and in the evening I'm going to tell a few stories, and I'll play a couple of songs, or a few songs probably, and I did that once here at Simons Valley Ranch here, and I had such a good time that I kind of look for an opportunity to do it again, and so I'm going to go down there on August 27th. It's a Saturday, August 27th, to Liberty Lane in the I can't remember what the town is called. I think it's
near Ottawa works for us here in
it's
Alberta.
about a half hour. It's about a half hour south of Ottawa, apparently.
We call that down east here.
Yeah, I think it's Inkerman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Inkerman, Ontario, and it's.
See, I envisioned you doing like the riding clinic.
Yeah, well, I'm only half a cowboy.
I know, but so that's why I thought like this would be your chance to just find the other
you meant
half.
actually take the clinic and
yeah.
Sorry, my arrogance.
No.
My arrogance thought you meant
it.
I should teach it.
No. I don't want to be rude or anything because I love you and all, but
yeah.
No, I just thought you might be a part of it, not in necessarily like instructing, but I mean, I think any of you guys who, are kind of jumping on horses, and maybe it's not in your wheelhouse of normality. Like, it takes a lot of guts, and it takes some skill, and it takes some learning and some dedication to be able to become really comfortable on a horse when it's not something you do in your day-to-day life. And I think you can offer that to people, and it helps people face a fear with it or try something new, and like you'd have more to offer than you would think.
Yeah.
So then I compliment you back at the end there.
Yeah.
But for real, yeah.
Duly noted.
Like, sorry, he stormed out before 8 o'clock. I don't know why. Yeah. No, you're not a diva. But honestly, like, I think there's more to that sometimes than someone who's done it their whole life. It's almost hard to explain that piece because it becomes a part of your everyday. And when you don't do it every day, it becomes easier to tell somebody, oh no, it's really awkward when you try to do this or this or whatever.
Somebody like Barb Schulte that is a bona fide horse trainer and world renowned at it too. Somebody like that is really it's a life. It's like we were talking off the air about world class athletes and the dedication that you have during every month of the year, not just during the clinic. You have to get to the point in your own knowledge and experience to be able to share that knowledge. And the guys that I work with, Heartland Cowboys that we have, the Wranglers, somebody like Barb Schulte, they have spent their entire lives cowboying, and when they come onto our set, I'm just in awe, and there's a lot more to it than it looks like on TV.
Yeah. You make it look easy.
They make it look easy for us.
All right, we're hanging out with Shaun Johnston this morning.
Pretty good time so far.
Catching up like old times. We're having a little reunion.
Yeah.
of sorts, I guess. But we've been talking lots about Heartland and stuff. But I love this cool thing that you've been doing. We were just talking about it a few minutes ago on the air too, where you go to different things and you're telling stories and playing the guitar. And how did that kind of come about for you?
Boy, that's a really good question. I love playing my guitar. I'm not so hot at it, I guess, but I can certainly entertain myself. And my wife gave me a guitar as a gift, to be honest with you, many years ago. And that started out, that idea came around because we were at some friend's place on the West Coast, and it was one of those magical nights when we were on the beach. And it was calm night. The tide was half in, half out. The waves were just kind of, you could hear the waves lapping on the shore and all that romantic kind of thing. There's 10 or 12 people sitting around a fire. There was good food, good people. And somebody had a guitar there. And so they pulled it out. And it was one of those social gatherings where everybody's singing the songs. And the next day, I said to my wife, I said, that I'll never forget that night. And the following Christmas, I got a guitar, and I had never held a guitar really in my whole life prior to that. And so I taught myself how to play, and I love it as much as I love working as an actor. Yeah. And so I started just sort of doing it myself. And I've always been kind of a storyteller or half a liar. And
No. Really?
and so I thought, well, let's put them together and have some fun. Yeah.
So that works. Was it easy to teach yourself?
Well,
I have that on my list. Like I would love to learn how to play the guitar.
Well, my kids were. I'd say this is about 10 years ago when that story happened. About 10 years ago, 12 years ago, probably. A couple years before I started Heartland, which is a benchmark for all of us now. So I'd been playing a couple years before I got the job on Heartland, and so I had to play. I had to learn how to play the guitar between the hours of midnight and 2 in the morning because my wife didn't want me to wake her up. She was trying to get to sleep. The kids were getting pissed off because they couldn't sleep. I was so terrible at it. And
a warning for my family. Yeah.
I waited till they went to sleep, and then I learned how to play the guitar. I was teaching myself how to play the guitar, but I couldn't use a pick because it makes the strings ring too loud.
Oh,
so I learned how to play with my thumb only. And
I learned how to play with my thumb. That's funny.
Yeah, that didn't. Yeah, that's what she said. So I'm learning now how to play with a pick, and
then you have like 4 other fingers there that you can do the rest of the guitar with.
Yeah.
Well, that's a feat unto its own. All right. Well, just maybe we can convince this thumb-playing guitar guy to spin us a tune after 8. Maybe. We'll throw it out there, see what happens. We're hanging out with Shaun Johnston this morning. New to the community? Van Perry with Chainsaw. It's 8:11. I'm Jody Seeley. My co-host, Shaun Johnston from CBC's Heartland. He plays Grandpa Jack, and we were talking about this just before the news, that one of the things that you're just enjoying, loving, and doing is you go and you tell stories and you play songs. And so I thought for a moment we could pretend you were at an event. And I'm just that weird fan that's just the only one that came. No, I'm just kidding. And I would love to hear what are one of these stories? Can you give us a little taster? Can you tell us a story? Can you, put us in that moment with you? I think I wanted to come to that thing at the Simons Valley so bad, but it was a crazy weekend. But I heard from people who went that it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun for me, for sure. We had a pretty good turnout. I think everybody that was there left with a little piece of satisfaction, I think.
Yeah. As an entertainer, that's all you want at the end of the day.
I guess so, yeah.
So what kind of stories do you share?
Well, there's a story that, it's Heartland related, of course, but...
we like those.
Yeah. When we shot the pilot episode back in, I think it was 2000 and something, obviously 2000 and something, but it's 2007 maybe. I know it was October.
Yeah.
We were working near the Longview, in the Longview area, and there was a windstorm that came through that I had never witnessed, and it blew my mind. I mean, I'm an Alberta guy, and I grew up. I'm born and raised in Alberta, and I don't ever recall a windstorm like that. And we're filming, and I felt so bad for the crew because they're staking down every piece of equipment that was off the truck, making sure it wasn't going to blow into the next county, you know. And we had this gal, one of the crew members. She drove the cast, and her name was Darcy, and I always referred to her as the resident John Wayne. And she spoke kind of like John Wayne, but only with the girl's voice, you know.
Yeah.
And so we're filming, and this windstorm is going crazy, and it was a night shoot on top of it, and nothing good ever happens at night. And so next day, Darcy's driving the cast to set, and we're all fairly exhausted. We're off our sleep pattern, and nobody's saying anything in the van. And a few miles down the road, Darcy pipes up, and she says, "Yeah, when that big, huge spruce tree fell on that car, it was your first indication that it was an unusually strong wind."
It's just like, okay. Man, you should have recorded some of her. That would have been good.
Yeah, she was a character for sure. Yeah,
you probably had a lot of those over the years.
Yeah.
You have lots of people that, take on those jobs or volunteer to do different things, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, especially around here. We're a very eclectic community in Alberta, and especially in this area. You've got tons of smart guys and cowboy guys, and that just need to change gears for a while, and they come into the film biz because it's cool and groovy.
And it's just different kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now you're going to play us a song. What are you going to do?
Really?
Yeah. You don't have to compete with the songs we're playing. We're just hanging out. Pretend there's a campfire right here.
Okay.
If I could, I'd light something on fire, but I'd probably get in trouble. But we're just hanging out. Just play us a fun song. No pressure.
Okay. This is not my song.
Okay.
Once I had the life of a millionaire. Spent all my money, didn't have any care. Took all my friends out for a mighty good time. Bought bootleg liquor, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall so low. Lost all my good friends, had nowhere to go. I get my hands on $1 again. I'll hang on to it till that old eagle grins, because nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. And as for friends, you don't have any. When you get back on your feet again, everybody wants to be your long-lost friend. I know it's strange without any doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. And as for friends, you don't have any. When you get back on your feet again, everybody wants to be your long-lost friend. I know it's strange without any doubt. and nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. And nobody knows you when you're down and out. And nobody knows you when you're down and out.
Nice to see all the fingers and thumbs working there. It's good stuff.
For sure. Well, there's a couple of strings there that probably should have been touched and weren't, and lots that were touched that shouldn't have been.
Hey, that's okay. We're just having fun. We're hanging out with Shaun Johnston this morning.
I remember
Tonight it's Wayne. You're still the one. Shaun Johnston, you're still the one. Are you having fun? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm having a pretty good time.
Yeah, I like this. I like the story guitar idea. I was just telling you this off the air. I think it's a really cool thing that is just so, unique to you. It has a little bit of your character, but a whole lot of just you as, the guy outside of the character, which is sometimes hard for, I think, a fan to separate sometimes because you get to know that person. Like they know. You probably get called Jack a lot at different things.
Yeah, but I answer to it.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah, it's
but
great.
I think it's a cool idea that's just kind of unique to you. And
well, I think
what the heck? Yeah.
That's one of the driving reasons that I put this idea together is very often when we're on a publicity junket or something for a project that we're working on, whether it be film or Heartland or whatever, you meet people and hi, how are you? What's your name? You sign an autograph and they go away happy. You take a picture with somebody and they go away really happy. But I always felt at any of those events, I've always felt that it's not quite enough. They've dedicated themselves to us as fans and they've made the effort to come down here. And I've always felt that it's just not quite enough. And I picture them leaving wishing that there was more to enjoy. So I created this idea so I could just give a little bit more of Shaun instead of just Jack,
Yeah.
Does that sound like my ego needs to be lifted by a crane?
I know. I'm not sure we're going to get your head out the door, but no, I think that's cool because I think when you're in a position like yours where you become, for lack of a better term, we call it celebrity, okay?
Yeah.
And so you're in a place where you have in a position of influence and a position of people want to know about that guy and they want to know about those things. So the fact that you're willing to share it doesn't make you ego. It's more like a strength vulnerable thing because not a lot of people will do that or open themselves up to that kind of thing. And I think that makes it special.
Well, that's cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, take that and run. But not quite yet. We don't want you to leave quite yet. We've got your 8:30 news coming up with Russell and more with Shaun Johnston.
9. I'm Jody Seeley. Shaun Johnston, my co-host. I could talk to you for hours. We're having so much fun.
I like being here for sure. It's early in the morning doesn't matter to me. It's I'm old, and that's what we do, is we wake up.
You got up to pee, and you thought, I might as well just come in and hang out with her for a bit. Yeah. Make it work. Well, that's my goal at the end of the day, is that you've enjoyed yourself and you want to come back. So if we've got to that part, I'm doing good so far.
Yeah, right on.
So it's been pretty fun. Now, season 10 of Heartland is in the filming stages right now. And is it do you ever feel kind of like surreal? Like, wow, this has been 10 years of, and really for a lot of you, you're growing up together.
Yeah.
I mean, not you because you're so old, but the rest of the characters, the rest of your team, that's been 10 years is really at the end of the day is a long time.
Yeah. I've seen these kids grow up and I felt very often that I'm, almost their father, or at least they belong to me in some way.
Yeah.
And, like Jessica Amley and Alicia Newton now as the younger kids. But Amber too, Michelle and Graham, they weren't even 20 years old when they started this project, and that's a pretty formative time in life. And I felt like, the big oak tree that sort of stood in the corner, and I really felt like they needed to be protected. And here we are all these years later, and I might still be the old oak tree standing in the corner, but now they're the squirrels and they're running all over my stuff,
I love this metaphor we're going with. I can't wait to see them and be like, so you're the squirrels of Heartland.
Right on.
But it's kind of cool. And I think at the end of the day, it's been a great opportunity for all of you guys to be, having, especially for them in those years that are forming a lot of life, to be a part of something that, I mean, as a show, it's fairly wholesome. Like it's family. It's it's one I've said to a lot of people that you can sit and watch with your kids, and you're not worried about explaining what something means later, kind of thing. And so, what a cool. I would think the environment is probably like that on the set too. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like.
I don't know if you're as wholesome in real life, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just a bunch of human beings getting together, so there's always something that could never be on air.
Yeah.
But when Heartland first started, when I was actually trying out to be a part of the show, auditioning, I guess it's called.
At 30, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I thought, wait a minute, there aren't any doctors. There aren't any chicks in high heels packing heat.
Yeah.
It was all wholesome, like you say. It was the human spirit, really, as opposed to what humans get themselves into. It was really about the human spirit, and I did not get it. I thought, okay, this is going to last about 2 seconds, because it was all cops and robbers and doctors on television at the time, and what I didn't realize was there was a need for what we were trying to do, and boy. I said to all those kids early on, I said, don't, they're talking about what we're going to do when it goes to series. And I'm saying, don't go there, you guys. You're setting yourself up for failure,
Yeah.
And they all kind of went, oh, boo.
Get out of here, negative Nelly. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And here we are. I'm the goat about that now. We're all these 100 and some odd episodes later.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. What would you say is the biggest thing you've learned from being a part of this series?
That people are good, that you can rely on others to make yourself better. That sounds kind of corny, I guess. Hey, I just heard myself say it, but
so you're going for a job at Hallmark now? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Did you write that down?
Yeah, it's like no.
We can play it back though, right?
Yeah, I got it.
That's going to be
just
on
in case.
a card.
Yeah,
Man.
Can be your new slogan.
Yeah, but it's really true. I've worked with and became friends with a lot of great people, and I think I'm a little bit richer for it.
Yeah. What was your most embarrassing moment? Or is there just one? Or do you have one at all? Maybe you've just been so great. I don't know.
I don't think I have one. Because I'm perfect.
Yeah.
I don't have embarrassing moments. Okay.
No. I didn't think so, but I thought, I'm just going to throw it out there. You never know what you'll,
Well, you know what? I'm sure
land
I've got
on the hook.
I'm sure I've got a ton, but
Do you guys ever watch back your blooper reels and stuff and just have some laughs at some of the things when you just, when your brain and your mouth just will not cooperate with each other?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Amber gets probably the most screen time, so she makes the most bloopers.
Oh yeah, way to phrase that. That was you cushioned that well.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have a career in politics next. But I hope she's listening today because we've given her a hard time a couple of times.
Yeah,
it's been pretty good.
I've thrown her under the bus a little bit today, man. She can take it. That's the thing about her. She's tough as nails. She can take it.
All of a sudden, there'll be requests for other people to come on the show and have their moment to get back at you a little bit. But have some fun. It's pretty cool. All right, we're hanging out with Shaun Johnston. 8:53. I'm Jody Seeley. We've been hanging out with Shaun Johnston this morning. 2 hours goes by fast with you.
Holy cow.
I believe it's almost 9. I know.
Really? Like, what time is it exactly?
8:53 and 40 seconds.
It's 8:53.
You said exact. You want to know exactly what the time is? I can do that. Is that your radio voice? Are you working on it now?
It's 8:53 in High River City under slightly cloudy skies. The barometer's falling at 2.86, and it's 12 degrees.
Yeah. Is that really what we sound like?
Some
of them do. Well, especially back when you grew up.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is they all sounded like that when I was a kid, when I was your age.
Rodney radio is what I like to call it. You know? It was there for sure. It still happens. It makes me laugh. I love it.
Yeah, back when they were spinning vinyl.
Yeah, the old days.
Yeah, we call them the old days, I guess.
The good old days. But yeah, this has been great. Thank you for coming in to hang out with us. You know, on a morning when you weren't in production, you could have, I don't know, read a book or drank some coffee in your pajamas, but instead you just wore them here and had them this way. It's perfect.
Yeah, right.
That's the fun part of radio is we can tell them, like, you're wearing all sorts of whatevers you want. They don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah. I often wondered about that, you know, like I'm expressive. I think I use my hands when I talk and I thought, how am I going to get my point across on the radio? No one can see what I'm doing, man.
No one can tell I'm really into this because I'm banging my hand on the desk. Yeah. You just do it anyway. I think we all do.
Yeah.
We're hand talkers.
Yeah, we're all hand talkers. Even the people that don't use their hands.
Yeah. But have you ever noticed, though, when you see someone who's talking without using them, that you're like, how are they doing that? Like, I don't really listen to them because I'm more focused on the fact that they're not using their hand.
Well, if you try to not use your hands, you'll feel uncomfortable. I guarantee it.
Sit on them and then say some hello.
Well, yeah.
I would be. And I always have to twirl a pen or something. That's my thing.
Well, speaking as an actor, your body always tells a story. And to be honest with you, your body tells as much of the story as the words on the page or the voice that you use.
Yeah.
Your body is every bit as important a vehicle. So
do you find that you notice that in your day-to-day life probably more so than the rest of us would? Like you'd pick up on body language more so?
Yeah, for sure, especially when I'm engaged on a project. You know, in the wintertime, for example, between seasons of Heartland, I become less observant, I think, but as soon as I'm on any project, it amazes me how everything in the world, it seems like anyway, everything in the world pertains to what I'm shooting tomorrow. You know, there's a headline or a piece of news, or I'll see a road sign, or I'll be downtown and see somebody that represents something that I'm going to be shooting tomorrow. And
that's kind of eerie in a cool way.
Yeah, eerie in a cool way. Yeah, it's I think our senses are heightened when we're working as actors. We're just observing the whole world around us, so we can recreate it.
Yeah. Kind of makes it sound like a little alienish, but in a good way.
We gotta clone it.
And then I controlled the world by this. Yeah, that's kind of cool. At the end of the day, what do you do next? Like, are you off today completely? Do you get to chill?
I get to. I'm going to meet my wife in, I don't know, a bit.
Yeah.
And she's gonna buy me something.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I think I need a new pair of boots. And here's one of those things. Like, people on the radio can't see my boots, but I've got these nice old Ariat boots.
Yeah.
But they're wearing real thin in a couple of places, and you can see right through. You can see my socks in a couple of places. So,
nice.
And I'm holding them up right now to the microphone, but I don't think it's working. And I'm going to go buy a new pair of boots.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my present for today.
That's exciting.
That's how I'm going to celebrate.
Are you off
hanging out
for just
with you.
today or a couple days? When do you go back to shoot again?
I'm back tomorrow. Back on set tomorrow, and we have new director tomorrow, so I'm going to go beat him up a little bit.
Nice.
And
you've been forewarned, director man.
When I get to set, sometimes I say, "How's everything going today?" They say, "Oh, it's we're flying right along. Everybody's having a great day." And I say, well, we're going to put a stop to that right about now.
Until now. Well, I heard a story from one of the folks that was one of your drivers one day, and they had said that you and I think it was with Jessica or someone, and you decided that the two of you were going to play that you actually hated each other or something, and you put on this big act that you two like hated each other, and you were being like total divas, and this person was like crazy uncomfortable and didn't know what to do, and then like partway through the drive you're like, we're just kidding. Kind of jokesters.
Yeah, that was pretty good. She was in the van when he came to pick me up. And I opened the door and I looked in, and he was sitting in the driver's seat, and I looked into the back of the van and I saw Jessica Steen in there, and I looked back at the driver, Lindsay was his name. And I said, you get out here, we're going to have a little chat.
Yeah.
And he gets out on the sidewalk. I said, I'm not driving, I'm not riding with her. I'm not. And anyways, I explained to him that she was a terrible person, and he's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. It all worked out in the end, and he felt really, he felt so nervous and scared. He didn't know how to get the actors to set. And
it's like, what do I do? They never taught me this in the handbook.
Yeah, it's not in the handbook. And it was basically it was a practical joke. So he waited. I was looking over my shoulder for a long time, and he got me back. He put about 25 zip ties on the drive shaft of my truck.
Oh, no.
But waited until it was 20 below.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm crawling on my back with a pair of side cutters trying to get those off of there. So anyways.
What goes around comes around. I guess that saying is out there for a reason.
Watch your back.
But you guys, do you tend to do a lot of, are you a practical joker guy?
Well, I used to be, but
maybe not so much
it's a little too stressful watching out for what's coming.
I know, right? Too crazy. Well, I appreciate you coming in to hang out. This has been fun, and I hope you'll come back again.